Play.
Sabalenka, Gauff. Yeah, this is a tough one, I think, because of what's happened recently, right?
Right.
Their
Right.
matchup.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, I'm also thinking back to like day one for Coco and just the double fault troubles,
Yeah.
serving troubles, and I thought like that win over Paulini was exactly what she needed, and kind of just a thrashing and
Yeah.
get her confidence. And
just 3 double faults compared to, I think, 17 in the first match.
yeah, it was 17. So yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we wanted. You know,
Yeah.
it's essentially, well, I'm not gonna, but it's essentially a winner go home match in a sense. And I think I think this plays into Coco's hands a little bit more than Pegula. And the reason I say that is from one, a pressure standpoint, two, being I guess the defending champion, and I think the same conditions more or less. I don't think they changed the court or anything. So, and three, it's like they're both warm. They have 2 matches under their belt, and you know they're ready for battle. So, I think it does play into Coco's hands a little bit. What do you think about that?
I just think that this is not the French Open, and I know she frustrated Aryna as well in New York, of course, 2 years ago. So it's not necessarily just there, but then they had a great match in Australia in the semis in 2024, which was close. I think Coco Gauff was serving for the first set. It was close in terms of the 2 sets and stuff, and yet I just felt that Aryna was the better player on the day. Now, I also felt Aryna was the better player on the day against Coco for spells, maybe even long spell of the match, but it wasn't enough at Roland Garros this year because in the end, that third set, Gauff was just not quite waiting for the error, but she was having to force the errors in a way, but she's forcing them in a different way to the Pegula-Sabalenka match today. She's forcing them because Sabalenka thinks she's hit a winner. She hasn't. Sabalenka thinks she's hit a forced error. She hasn't. It's coming back, and it's coming back with interest. And eventually that takes a mental toll on you. And then you throw in the wind as well. And it kind of makes sense. And I think I also looked at a stat before that Roland Garros final. Even though I predicted a Sabalenka win, there was one big doubt in my mind, and it was the length of the rallies. And it was basically longer rallies. Gauff was, I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, but it was really stark going into that final with the lengthy rallies, Gauff winning and Sabalenka not winning the lengthy rallies, including in some of Sabalenka's previous rounds against opponents that she still beat. And so that was the thing. It was like, you know what? As soon as the point gets to 4 or 5 shots, and on the clay at Roland Garros, and Coco Gauff's incredible movement as well as ability to defend means it's unlikely that Sabalenka's going to easily hit through her. And so in a way, that is how it panned out. But the weather does play its part, I think, in Sabalenka getting, you know, I can see her now twisting her body, trying to get backhands and stuff. And but of course Sabalenka did win in Madrid this year, but again, different conditions there. And they played last year in Saudi Arabia, and that was a win for Coco. So there's arguments for both players.
Totally. I mean, yeah, and that was the semifinal. I'm actually going to pull up some of the statistics from that match to kind of
That'll be good to know. Yeah.
Right.
I can keep talking for a minute or so if you want some time.
Yeah, I actually got it here.
Got it. Go for it.
Yeah, let's just see kind of how this played out. Yeah, pretty much on serve. Sabalenka served for the first set at 6-all. Or I mean at 6-5, lost
Did
it.
she?
And then ends up losing that first set in a breaker.
She always has chances, Aryna. You know, even when she loses, I mean, there's so many chances in that French Open final, the US Open final as well, I think, even though I think it was a double break in the deciding set. She always has chances. So there's always lots of regret for her.
Yeah. And it was just a break fest in the second, but Coco got off to an early lead, and it was good enough to do it. In terms of serving stats, 2 double faults for Coco, 3 for Sabalenka, serving at around that 65% clip for both of them. It's pretty even.
You almost feel as if this match if Coco is in single figures, let's say it goes 3 sets and she double faults 9 times, that's kind of like par, I think, for her, and or maybe even slightly better. I mean, to say 17 over 3 sets against Pegula. If she, gets 8 more points in that respect, maybe she wins that match against Jessica Pegula. Who knows? Or 8 more points are not just gifted away. If she's in single digits over 3 sets, if it's obviously straight sets, it needs to be less. But so you throw that in. If she gets that down to single figures, then suddenly it's she has a huge chance. Then it comes down to Sabalenka, and I still think the conditions here are obviously better than that day at Roland Garros this year. Maybe they're not quite as good for her in terms of Madrid, but also muscle memory that Sabalenka has of making so many finals now in Madrid and now winning, I think 3 titles there. Whereas Gauff has the muscle memory in Saudi Arabia with winning the title last year. Oh, it's so tough. It's so tough that surely we get 3 sets.
Yeah.
If it's
I would
straight,
agree.
you think it'll be Aryna? If it's straight,
I would.
Coco's game doesn't lend itself to sort of blowing an opponent away.
Right.
With Aryna's level, anyway. I mean, yeah.
I think, look, here's a few things that come to mind, especially for today. Sabalenka, frustration was off the charts. We see it at times in periods
Yeah.
for her, but
Even
today
when
it was
she's
crazy.
winning, she was up a break in I forget which set it was. It might be probably the first one, or she won the first set. She won the first set, and she's already annoyed with herself at the beginning of the second. I'm thinking things are going well for you right now, Aryna.
Yeah, and she sent Dubrov out of there. I
Did
think that
she
was the
send him
middle of the
out?
set. Yeah.
Newly
Or he
new
or he
haircut,
left.
Dubroff, by the way.
So, yeah, it's just like something that, we're not accustomed to seeing.
I
Obviously,
don't think I've seen her
is
send Dubov out before. I mean, I've seen
yeah,
lots of exchanges, but
right. We
Dubov
see the
normally just
exchanges.
yeah. Dubov.
So, we know how much it means, and I just think that Coco, it's a little less. It's not about pressure, but it's a little less thinking for her. It's a little bit more read, react, and go from there, I think, and that plays into her. But also, yes, you have a little bit of mental edge. Arguably, same situation last year. We'll just call it like a knockout stage tomorrow, or sorry, this is Thursday, and almost a winner go home match. She won that, and you just add the kind of element of revenge for Sabalenka, and uh, Coco. Does she hold that kind of mental edge? Who knows? But I think we're here for a tightly contested one, John.
Yeah. So what are we going for?
Everything that I'm saying sounds like it's hard to go against Sabalenka here. It's not about like it. Obviously, she has the edge for me. I just think that Coco might find a way to pull it out. But I I'm still here to say it's in Sabalenka's hands. She has the edge. Better tennis right now.
So
Better conditions. So yeah, I'm gonna have Sabalenka advancing. We
I'm
hope
gonna
3
have
sets.
Sabalenka. I'm gonna have Sabalenka in 3.
I like.
But it's so tough because there's so many arguments for both players. I just think that some of the stats that yes, Gauff did win this match last year. I think maybe Sabalenka needs it a bit more. Maybe Gauff has won this title before. Gauff has won the French Open this year. It's a different slam for her to win. Sabalenka's won the US Open. Of course, that makes her year great as well. If you win 1 slam per year, you're doing pretty well. So, but Sabalenka's never won this title. And every year that goes by, we saw it with Rafa on the men's side, and we've seen other greats of the game on both men's and women's side not win this title. So, yeah, Gauff has won it, and she'll probably win a couple more at some point. I'm going to go with a Sabalenka win. And therefore, of course, with that scenario, Sabalenka and Pegula do progress.
Yeah, I mean, world #1 end of season. Got to celebrate that a couple of days ago. So
Yeah, there's
it
a
would
bit
be
of pressure
cool.
off there as well, in a way. Yeah.
It'd be cool to, do both.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Ready? Play.
Sabalenka, Gauff. Yeah, this is a tough one, I think, because of what's happened recently, right?
Right.
Their
Right.
matchup.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, I'm also thinking back to like day one for Coco and just the double fault troubles,
Yeah.
serving troubles, and I thought like that win over Paulini was exactly what she needed, and kind of just a thrashing and
Yeah.
get her confidence. And
Just 3 double faults compared to, I think, 17 in the first match.
yeah, it was 17. So yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
It's essentially, well, I'm not gonna, but it's essentially a winner go home match in a sense. And I think I think this plays into Coco's hands a little bit more than Pegula. And the reason I say that is from one, a pressure standpoint, two, being I guess the defending champion, and I think the same conditions more or less. I don't think they changed the court or anything. So, and three, it's like they're both warm. They have 2 matches under their belt, and they're ready for battle. So I think it does play into Coco's hands a little bit. What do you think about that?
I just think that this is not the French Open, and I know she frustrated Aryna as well in New York, of course, 2 years ago. So it's not necessarily just there, but then they had a great match in Australia in the semis in 2024, which was close. I think Coco Gauff was serving for the first set. It was close in terms of the 2 sets and stuff, and yet I just felt that Aryna was the better player on the day. Now, I also felt Aryna was the better player on the day against Coco for spells, and maybe even long spell of the match, but it wasn't enough at Roland Garros this year because in the end, that third set, Gauff was just not quite waiting for the error, but she was having to force the errors in a way, but she's forcing them in a different way to the Pegula-Sabalenka match today. She's forcing them because Sabalenka thinks she's hit a winner. She hasn't. Sabalenka thinks she's hit a forced error. She hasn't. It's coming back, and it's coming back with interest. And eventually that takes a mental toll on you. And then you throw in the wind as well. And it kind of makes sense. And I think I also looked at a stat before that Roland Garros final. Even though I predicted a Sabalenka win, there was one big doubt in my mind. and it was the length of the rallies. And it was basically longer rallies. Gauff was, I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, but it was really stark going into that final with the lengthy rallies, Gauff winning and Sabalenka not winning the lengthy rallies, including in some of Sabalenka's previous rounds against opponents that she still beat. And so that was the thing. It was like, you know what? As soon as the point gets to 4 or 5 shots, and on the clay at Roland Garros, and Coco Gauff's incredible movement as well as ability to defend means it's unlikely that Sabalenka's going to easily hit through her. And so in a way, that is how it panned out. But the weather does play its part, I think, in Sabalenka getting, you know, I can see her now twisting her body, trying to get backhands and stuff. And yeah, but of course Sabalenka did win in Madrid this year, but again, different conditions there. And they played last year in Saudi Arabia, and that was a win for Coco. So there's arguments for both players.
Totally. I mean, yeah, and that was the semifinal. I'm actually going to pull up some of the
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. Do get voting in our poll as to who you think is going to win. Sabalenka against Coco Gauff here. A lot of people will be wondering, what are the permutations? Well, I have just released every single detail. But simply, Sabalenka wins in any way, shape, or form. She tops the group. Coco Gauff wins in straight sets. She qualifies along with Jessica Pegula. Coco Gauff wins in 3 sets is when it gets complicated. Then it'll come down to the margin of games differential. If she wins by 5 games or more in total. So let's imagine they share the first 2 sets with exactly the same number of games won, 6-4, 4-6, something like that. Gauff would need to win that deciding set by 6 games to 1. 5 games differential is the key. That is if it comes down to a 3-set win. So a tight 3-set win for Coco Gauff, 6-4, 4-6, 7-5, no good. A comfortable one, and it changes. We have a break point, though, already for Coco Gauff here at the beginning of this match. And so, in fact, all of this may become irrelevant, of course, if Coco Gauff wins in straight sets, as it will be her and Jessica Pegula who will qualify. Gauff gets the break. 1 love. 1 love. No more singing, Johnny boy. Do let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Who are you predicting to win? Get voting in our poll, and also hit that like button, of course. Welcome to those watching on Instagram. Wonderful to have you on board. Sabalenka with a mean return there on the Coco Gauff serve, and it's helped her get to love 15 here on that Coco serve. 15 love, or love 15 becomes 15 all. Sabalenka already looking pretty frustrated. Forehand slice there from Coco, and it's deceived Aryna. She does not like playing Coco Gauff right now. 30-15. Forehand return from Aryna, forehand from Coco, backhand from Aryna, backhand from Coco, comes into the net. Can she put this away? No, but can Sabalenka pass? Neither. 40-15. This is the current state of play in this group. 40-15 here. Game points. 2 game points here for Coco to get to 2 love. Sabalenka has 3 shots at getting the set that won't guarantee her qualification. Well, she has 2 shots at it anyway. She needs a set, and then we'll see. But Coco Gauff leads 2 love. That's what's important right now. $15 love, Sabalenka. Seven minutes on the clock. Good serve from Aryna. Now on the forehand of Aryna. 15 all. Now remember what I said pre-match, and I'm also going to repeat it now. So by virtue of serving first, I'm guessing Sabalenka, I'm hoping she won the toss and therefore chose to serve first. Because a 6-4 margin of defeat in one of the 2 sets that she presumably loses will help her. But a straight sets loss, like I said, will put Aryna out. No doubt about that. Coco goes long. So it's 30-15. If you want a talking tennis mug, here it is. And here's the link. First serve clips the net and goes long. So a second serve here for Coco Gauff to look at. Aryna looking pretty perturbed right now. First serve down the tee. Forehand return from Coco is pretty good. Forehand from Coco also is pretty good there, and Aryna can't deal with it. How about that? Back-to-back forehands from Coco Gauff. Very, very good forehands. And I'm just wondering if Coco, having Gavin McMillan in her team, a former member of the Sabalenka team, whether that is aiding and abetting Coco's chances in this particular matchup. Of course, Gavin was with Sabalenka the last time these two played at the French Open. Served down the tee, backhand return into the net from Coco Gauff, and it's 40-30 Aryna Sabalenka. Good serve there from Aryna. Forehand from Sabalenka. Forehand from Coco. She couldn't do 3 good forehands in a row. And it's 2-1. Remember, the head-to-head between these two is 6-5 in favor of Coco Gauff. Okay, so 2-1 for Coco Gauff. Just looking at the last few matches between these two. And of course, Coco Gauff did win in straight sets a year ago when these two met in the semifinals. Sabalenka was serving for one of the sets. Okay, Coco Gauff to serve here, 2-1. Gauff is serving anyway, 2-1. Love 15. Shane Leonage, of course, we've had him on the show a few times before, smiling there in her box. Backhand return from Aryna into the backhand of Coco, down the line, attacking there, Coco. Coco attacking. She's not won the point yet. Coco attacking. Oh my goodness me, Aryna Sabalenka, well done. Take a bow, Aryna, love 30. She hung in there. That was a Coco Gauff style point. That was that she won. Love 30 becomes love 40. So, can Sabalenka get back on serve here? Backhand here from Coco. Aryna on the defense again. Sabalenka. Oh, good forehand cross court from Coco. Tell you what, that forehand today, not bad so far. Backhand return. Forehand from Coco Gauff is going to go long, and Sabalenka gets the break. 2-2, back on serve, much to the relief of Aryna Sabalenka. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Forehand return from Coco into the backhand of Aryna Sabalenka. Forehand Coco. That forehand from Coco today, honestly, so far, just 4 games, so early doors. She's got an easy smash and she's going to put it away. Aryna does the splits, but she's okay, I think. There's a very excitable child. Pleased at the way that point panned out, and it is love 15. Down the tee, misses the first serve, does Aryna Sabalenka. Forehand return here from Coco is pretty good. Another forehand for Coco, equally good. How many forehands is that from Coco today that have been either good or winners? I know it's just 4.5 games. So Sabalenka is serving, love 30. Good first serve out wide. It's going to get her to 15-30. Remember, in recent memory, this is not a matchup that Sabalenka enjoys. Losing 2 Grand Slam finals to Coco. Losing 2 of the last 3 encounters? Yes. So she's lost 2 of the last 3 encounters. A year ago in the semifinals at the WTA Finals. She then won in Madrid, but then she lost at Roland Garros this year in arguably the most painful loss of Sabalenka's career. I mean, she's had quite a few painful losses, I mean. Good serve down the tee from Aryna. Now on the forehand of Aryna. Forehand from Coco into the forehand of Aryna. And that's going to go long, and we're going to have a break point for Coco Gauff. Forehand down the serve down the tee. Now it's on a forehand for Sabalenka. She goes into the net. She is so annoyed. Coco gets under her skin and she's broken again. 3-2. Coco Gauff leads with a break. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, as soon as that forehand was sitting up there for Sabalenka, I was thinking, she hates this opponent. She hates playing Coco Gauff. Now, I know she's beaten her 5 times, but maybe those conditions in Wuhan, in Madrid, for example, in recent years, been a little bit more favorable for Sabalenka. Coco Gauff, remember, is the reigning champion here in Riyadh. Coco Gauff knows a straight sets win today, and she is into the semifinals, and Sabalenka, despite her heroics in the first 2 matches, is out. Sabalenka knows a win for her, and she tops the group. So kind of all or nothing. When it gets complicated is if Coco Gauff wins in 3 sets. Then it's all about the margin of Coco's win and how many games differential. If Coco wins, when you add up all the games, 6-4s and 3-6s, etc., when you add up all the games, if Coco has 5 more games won than Aryna Sabalenka, Coco qualifies and Sabalenka goes home. If the margin is super tight, for example, let's just say Sabalenka wins a set and loses another one, but it's 6-4, 4-6, or if Sabalenka wins her set 6-4 but loses the set that she loses 6-7-6, something like that. If it's super tight, Sabalenka's fine as long as that third set is also tight as well. Okay. Back on court, Coco Gauff serving at 3-2. That's why it's really useful and helpful for Sabalenka to serve first in this set, because we often look at how sets are won or lost by the number of breaks of serve. And with the breaks of serve being just one, often deciding the set, it changes the dynamic from being a 6-4 loss set to a 6-3. If you know what I mean. If you get broken once, but you were serving first, then you lose the set 6-4 rather than 6-3. And that could be all the difference. Bulgra asking in the live chat, where can you watch this? Where in the world are you based, Bulgra? And can you also hit the like button and click on subscribe just below the screen? If you click subscribe just below the screen, you'll see this number tick over. So you got three things. Where in the world are you? Write it in the live chat. Click the like button and hit subscribe. 15 love, by the way. Coco Gauff here. Backhand cross court, backhand to backhand now. Gauff is probably going to win that exchange. Now it's Gauff on the forehand, and the Coco Gauff forehand is firing today, which is something I rarely say. 30 love. Okay, Bulgra, you're in Istanbul, Turkey. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button, by the way, just below the screen. It depends on what channel has this encounter. WTA Finals, television, Istanbul. Check this website here, and it will tell you which TV channel you can watch it on in Turkey. There. 40 love, by the way, Coco Gauff, racing into a 40 love lead here. Backhand from Sabalenka, forehand from Coco, forehand Sabalenka. It's 4-2, by the way. Sabalenka comes into the net, picks that up pretty well. This lob is going to go long, and it's 15 love for Sabalenka. Remember, the margin of victory matters. So here's something for you to bear in mind. A Coco second break of serve could be significant because she then wins this by 6-2. A 6-2 set would be very, very useful for Coco. Okay, serve. Backhand return from Coco Gauff. Forehand from Sabalenka goes into the net, and it's 15 all. Forehand from Sabalenka, forehand Coco. Backhand cross-court Sabalenka is pretty good, but Coco defends. Now the forehand from Sabalenka. Now another forehand from Sabalenka. And now another forehand from Sabalenka. And it goes into the net. And there you go. She is so frustrated by the fact that every ball comes back and sometimes with interest. 15-30. I'm telling you, I think Coco Gauff is winning this match right now. The way this is panning out. And if she wins it in straight sets, Sabalenka, despite her heroics in the first two matches, will be out. Forehand return from Coco into the backhand of Sabalenka. Good cross-court shot there from Aryna. But that's going to go long from Aryna, and it's 15-40. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Return points won so far. Coco Gauff has won almost 60% of the points on Aryna Sabalenka's serve. Okay. Sabalenka serves out wide. Backhand Sabalenka. That's good. Coco Gauff on the defense. Sabalenka's got to stay cool, and she does. 30-40. Sabalenka out wide. Backhand return goes into the net. Deuce. Remember, every game matters at this stage. Honestly, Sabalenka holding on and losing this set normally would be devastating for her. But losing 6-4 is not the end of the world. But she would have to win the next set. Okay, deuce. Coco Gauff with another break point as I see a glimpse of Gavin McMillan in her team. Remember, Gavin McMillan, a former member of the Aryna Sabalenka team until the eve of the US Open. Wonder how he's feeling right now. I'm sure he's being able to impart some of his knowledge about Aryna's game. Anyway, break point number 3 for Coco Gauff in this particular game. Sabalenka serve out wide. It's an ace, and there's a scream from her. Deuce. The other thing as well with Coco against Aryna is Coco seems to grow against Aryna as opposed to shrink like she does against some other opponents. Coco feeds off the fact that she knows she gets under Sabalenka's skin a bit. Aryna ball toss goes awry. Aryna's annoyed about something or another. Maybe the scoreboard is annoying her somehow. She's putting the ball toss up and she's getting distracted by it. I don't know. Sabalenka his serve. Down the tee. Backhand return doesn't make it. Advantage Aryna Sabalenka. Ace Sabalenka, 2 aces in that game, 2 out of the last, I think it was the last 2 service points, no? Or something like that anyway. And she holds. Okay, change of ends, ladies and gentlemen. Sabalenka seeking a change of fortunes. Whatever happens, Jessica Pegula will be in the semifinals. If Sabalenka wins this match, it'll be Sabalenka in first place, Pegula in second place. If Coco Gauff wins this match, then it depends on the margin of victory. If Coco Gauff wins in straight sets, Coco Gauff tops the group and Pegula comes second. The only way for Pegula to top the group is if Coco Gauff wins in 3 sets and doesn't overtake the 58%. So if Coco Gauff wins in 3 sets, but it's a narrow 3-set win, then Pegula tops the group, let's say. Yeah. I'll leave it at that for now. Make sure you give the like to this video, by the way. And if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. You mean who is my favorite player, Bugra? Like, who is my favorite player on the tour? Who do I like? I like watching Carlos Alcaraz on the men's tour. I like watching Ons Jabeur, Karolina Muchova on the women's tour. I enjoy watching these 2 players as well, especially when they come up against each other. Okay, forehand here for Coco. She's dealing with these forehands, no problem today. So if Gavin McMillan has been working on the forehands, then so far he's the evidence is there so far. Okay. Sabalenka goes into the net, and it's 30-15 here on the Coco serve. (30-15) becomes 40-15. This meme, I don't know if it'll ever get old. 40-15 here, Coco. Backhand Coco Gauff into the forehand of Sabalenka. And Sabalenka goes long on the forehand, and it's 5-3, ladies and gentlemen. Coco Gauff 1 game away from winning the first set. Who do I think is going to win this match between Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka? Is that your question, Abin? If it is, please hit subscribe, people. Subscribe. Click subscribe. And also hit the like button. Abin, I think right now it's Coco Gauff's to win. Sabalenka here with a pretty important hold. Remember what I told you about that 5-game margin. She holds for 5-4, and she loses this set 6-4. It's not the worst way to lose a set, if that makes sense. But Sabalenka really needs a set as well. She definitely needs a set as well. Backhand return from Coco. Backhand from Sabalenka. Forehand from Coco is going to go wide. Finally, Coco errs on the forehand side, and we have 15 love on the Sabalenka serve here. 3-5, 15 love, serving to stay in the set. Coco Gauff here, ready to return. Sabalenka out wide. Unreturned serve, is that? No, didn't land in. Second serve. Backhand return here from Coco. Sabalenka on the backhand side. Plays it cautiously there. Interesting idea from Sabalenka. Maybe Sabalenka should play a bit more cautiously against Gauff. Just a new idea. I don't know. Throw it out there. .30 love. Sabalenka. Good serve there. Now on the forehand. Oh, that's too good. +1. 40 love. Remember, Pegula is already into the semifinals. No matter what happens today in this encounter. There's still a chance for her to top the group, but she needs Coco Gauff to win this match in 3 sets. $40 love, Aryna Sabalenka. 3 game points here. And a forehand return from Coco Gauff goes into the net. And so we do get to 5-4. Do you play tennis, Bugra? Okay, so I'm going to go turn the light on. And maybe we can take a very, very quick break.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. Cool. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and Coco Gauff is serving for the first set. Backhand return from Sabalenka into the backhand of Coco Gauff. Backhand Sabalenka. Forehand Gauff drop shot. Not going to win the point outright, but Sabalenka can't deal with it. She can't bend down and get it. There's that meme, ladies and gentlemen. Backhand return from Aryna. Good return. Forehand from Aryna. Backhand cross court from Sabalenka into the backhand of Coco Gauff. Gauff getting it in, though, and that's annoying for Sabalenka. 30 love, Coco Gauff. Two points away now from winning this first set. Okay, backhand from Coco Gauff into the backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand Coco Gauff is going to go wide, 30-15. Still 2 points away. (30-15) here. Goes long on the first serve. So a second serve here for Aryna Sabalenka to look at. Backhand return from Aryna. Forehand from Coco. Forehand from Aryna. Backhand from Coco. Goes into the net. 30 all. Interesting. Very interesting. Coco, 2 points away from winning the first set. Sabalenka, 2 points away from breaking back. Backhand return from Aryna. Backhand from Coco. Backhand from Sabalenka is unbelievable, but Coco deals with it. Another forehand from Sabalenka. Coco deals with it. Backhand now to backhand. Coco gets lucky with the net cord. Sabalenka comes into the net. Redrop. Now Sabalenka's going to win the point. That is incredible. Break point for Aryna Sabalenka. Woo. Break point here now for Sabalenka. If she can win this set in any way, shape, or form, she will be almost in that semi-final. A 7-5 rather than 7-6, though, would help Aryna a lot. Drop shot from Coco. Sabalenka comes in, puts the forehand away. She screams. It's 5-all, ladies and gentlemen. Sabalenka breaks back when she needs it most. Whew. Now, this is exciting, ladies and gentlemen, whichever way you look at it. So, 5-all, Sabalenka serving. "41 minutes on the clock. Sabalenka to serve. Back forehand return. Back forehand to forehand right now. Coco Gauff's forehand is going to go long, and it's 15-love. Sabalenka here serving. 5-all, 15-love. Good serve out wide. Now Sabalenka on the forehand. Forehand +1 winner. And Sabalenka from 4-5 down, staring down the barrel, is now very close to 6-5. And the return of serve from Coco goes into the net. It's very close to being 6-5 for Aryna Sabalenka right now. This is how the group looked pre-match. Forehand from Coco goes awry. Sabalenka holds for 6-5. Much to her relief, she was staring down the barrel at 5-3. Coco Gauff serving for the set. Coco Gauff gets to 30-love, remember, when she was serving for the set. 2 points away, but then 4 points in a row for Aryna Sabalenka, including a forehand winner at the end. And she managed to negate and negotiate a bit of a fortunate net cord on one of those points that went the way of Coco Gauff. And now it is Coco under pressure, serving to stay in the set. Remember, Jessica Pegula is already into the semifinals. She joins Elena Rybakina and Amanda Anisimova. Mike, where in the world are you watching from? That's the first question. And the second question is, can you hit like on this video and click subscribe below the screen? If you click on that subscribe button, this number here will tick over to 40. And you could do a little dance and know that you've made a difference. Okay, Coco Gauff serving here. 5-6, which, funny enough, is what the head-to-head is, albeit it's actually the other way around because it's actually... Oh, what a forehand from Coco. Yeah, Pegula already into the next round, as I said. One of these two will join them in the semis. Sabalenka on the forehand, cross court. Forehand, Coco's going to... No? Does it go long? Yes, it does. 15 all. Gauff here serving. 15 all. Backhand return from Sabalenka is going to go out. Sabalenka, remember, needs at least a set to qualify. If it's a tie break, of course that's good in terms of potentially winning the match. And by the way, Sabalenka might well be keen to win the match and top the group, by the way. Good for the rankings points. And of course, maybe she'd rather play Anisimova than Rybakina, although I think both could be equally difficult for Aryna in the semis. Okay, forehand to forehand right now. Sabalenka goes long with a forehand, and it is 40-15 for Coco Gauff. Okay, 40-15. Gauff serving. Forehand return from Sabalenka is good. Backhand from Sabalenka. Smash for Sabalenka into the net. She can't quite believe it, but we are going to a tie break. 6 all. Waterboy, where are you watching from? Please let me know in the live chat where you're watching from, but please also hit the like button and click subscribe. You click subscribe, and I'll give you all the information you need. I mean, I'm going to give it to you anyway, but just let me know where in the world you're watching from. Okay, Sabalenka here to serve. Forehand return from Coco. Forehand from Sabalenka is pretty good, and backhand from Coco goes into the net. First blood, Aryna Sabalenka, 1-0 in this tiebreak. Okay, Coco Gauff to serve. Gauff serves out wide. It's a good serve. 1-all, Coco. Coco to serve again. 1-1. Backhand return from Aryna into the backhand of Coco. Backhand from Aryna is pretty good considering the sticky situation she's in. She's going bigger, but Coco's athleticism here, defending. Aryna surely is going to get frustrated eventually. Coco's still defending. Coco now pushing Aryna. Aryna defending. Aryna's going to come in and run into this, but Coco wins the point 2-1. And therein lies a classical archetypal point between Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka. And it ends with an unforced error, albeit a tough one. She was on the run there, wasn't she, Aryna? Into the net. 2-1. Coco Gauff. It is now Sabalenka to serve. Whew. Gauff about to return serve. Down the tee. Forehand return. Forehand from Sabalenka is pretty good, but Coco Gauff deals with it. Now Sabalenka comes into the net. She gets a bit lucky there with the net cord. Does she miss the volley? She does. She does. Coco Gauff wins the point. It's 3-1. Probably should have done better with both of the volleys. She got away with one volley there, Sabalenka, because it clipped the net. It's tough playing Coco Gauff. It's tough. So, 3-1, Gauff, as she prepares to return the Sabalenka serve. Sabalenka serves out wide. Good return there from Coco. Coco now, can she get to this ball? She can. Sabalenka, Oh, Sabalenka, you got away with that one. You gave Coco a chance to put it away, but you didn't. And you get to 3-2. It's still a mini break advantage, of course, for Coco Gauff. Coco about to serve. Okay, Coco's serving here. Ball up and down, lands in, backhand return is going to go long, and it is 4-2 at the change of ends. 4-2. Gauff must be pleased with the manner of those first 6 points. Bearing in mind, don't forget, Coco Gauff was serving for the first set. Coco Gauff was serving for the first set and was up 30-love on her serve. But that advantage came and went. Okay, another Gauff serve here. First serve goes into the net. So a second serve for Aryna Sabalenka to look at. (4-2), Gauff serving. Not had many double faults here from Coco. Coco goes into puts a backhand into the net. A little bit of relief there for Sabalenka. It was a +1. I don't think we've had one double fault yet in this set, by the way. (4-3). Sabalenka to serve. Ball up, serve down. It's a good serve. It gets her to 4-all. Unreturned serve. Okay. Sabalenka about to serve. Okay, 4-all in this tiebreak. Good serve out wide. 5-4 Sabalenka. Whew. If you scroll up in the chat, Waterboy, much earlier ago, I did share a link, depending on where in the world you are, to watch this match. Okay, Coco Gauff about to serve. Goes long on the first serve. Second serve here. Double fault. I was just saying how there hadn't been any double faults, I think, in this first set from Coco. And there is one at such a crucial moment. And Sabalenka has 2 set points. First one's going to be on Coco's serve. First serve into the net from Coco. Second serve. Backhand return is going to go long, is it? Yes, it is. Sabalenka annoyed there. A little bit of respite, potentially, for Coco. But it is Sabalenka to serve now. 6-5. Okay, Sabalenka here. Good serve from Aryna. Forehand from Aryna. It's going to be a winner. Forehand winner from Aryna Sabalenka. She wins the first set by 7 games to 6. She is very, very, very close to a spot in the semifinals. If she is to go out now, Aryna Sabalenka, it will need a very comfortable couple of sets here for Coco Gauff. Who is going to serve first? I'm fascinated to know. I'm just trying to think. I think it's going to be Coco Gauff who will serve first, by the way. Whew. So, Sabalenka wins the first set, 7-6. She wins it by 7 points to 5 as well. Whew. Look at her reaction there, having won that first set. She knows she's this close. Now, what would it take? Remember, right now, we have a 1-game winning margin for Aryna Sabalenka. It doesn't mean she's there. Cumulative. Maybe I need to get that right. Coco Gauff here serving at the beginning of the second set. I'm just going to check what we are looking at currently in the group. Was 26-17, wasn't it? And 24-23. Now it's Coco on 30-30. That's Coco. And Aryna is on 34-23. Okay. 34-23. If Coco was to win 6-3, 6-3 in the next 2 sets, she would go to 42-36, which would give her just checking, just doing my calculations here for what Coco needs, by the way. It's 30 all here on her serve, because, by the way, obviously a win of any nature for Sabalenka, and it could well be straight sets right now, will mean Sabalenka qualifies, and everything else is irrelevant. 42 divided by 53.85. 53.846. Let's do that. That would be that. And Sabalenka, by the way, would go 29, 29, 30, 29, 35. She would go 40, 35. Whew. 40 divided by 75 equals 53.333. Yeah. So if... Oh, but Sabalenka's got the break. Sabalenka has the break. And I tell you what, this is also helping Aryna right now because Sabalenka needs to keep this margin tight. So even if she loses this set, say 6-4, if she loses this set 6-4, 7-5, 7-6, it's all good for Aryna. Anyway, she leads by 1-love with a break already at the beginning of this set. Yep, indeed, Samuel. Samuel, can you do me a favor? Can you click subscribe below this video? Backhand from Sabalenka down the line. Forehand from Gauff goes into the net, and it's 40-love. Forehand from Sabalenka, forehand from Coco is a good one. Forehand winner, 40-15. Okay. Okay. This is exciting. Backhand Coco is going to go long, and Sabalenka holds for 2-love. How is Novak Djokovic getting on, by the way? Him and Nuno Borges are on serve right now. Borges has a game point to make it 4-all. This is the ATP Finals draw from earlier on today, by the way. Djokovic will be pleased to have avoided Jannik Sinner, I would suggest. And I think he'll be happy with the matchups as well. I think Djokovic avoiding Sinner and Shelton, and maybe even Felix as well, should Felix be the one. I think this draw is as good as it could possibly be for Djokovic, honestly. If you said to me, Djokovic against Sinner or Alcaraz, he's going to take Alcaraz. If you said Djokovic against Shelton or Fritz, he's going to take Fritz. If you said De Minaur or Auger-Aliassime, he's going to take De Minaur. So, yeah. Okay, back to Coco Gauff, though, against Aryna Sabalenka. That scoreboard isn't quite up to date because it is 2-love to Sabalenka. And Gauff right now is falling apart. She's on serve here, or she's serving here at love 30. Backhand return from Sabalenka is going to land in. Backhand from Sabalenka is going to land in. Backhand cross court from Aryna. Backhand drop. Is that from Aryna? It's a slice. Forehand from Coco. Coco comes into the net. A tricky smash for Coco, and she misses it. Coco misses the smash. And Sabalenka now has 3 break points. Dearie me. Sabalenka. And that first serve is going to be missed. How Coco Gauff must be wondering about her fate. Oh, that's landed out, has it? Yes, it has. And Sabalenka is broken, and Sabalenka leads 3-love. We will take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Okay, Sabalenka is serving 15-love. Forehand return from Coco goes into the net. 15-love becomes, well, it is 15-love, sorry. Okay. Sabalenka to serve. Serve up, serve down. It's an ace. Everything is going Aryna's way, and it's going against Coco right now. 30-love, Aryna Sabalenka. That forehand of Coco's, which was so solid throughout most of the first set. Don't forget as well, Coco had a 4-2 advantage in the first set tiebreak. And it was from that moment it all came apart. She won just one of the next 6 points. Backhand into the net from Sabalenka, 30-15. Coco Gauff here on return. Sabalenka about to serve. Serve up and down. Backhand return from Coco. Backhand from Sabalenka. Forehand from Coco. Backhand from Sabalenka is into the net. So, a little bit of good news there for Coco. Oh, and Djokovic is facing a break point right now against Nuno Borges. Anyway, 30 all here. Sabalenka about to serve. Serve up and down. Forehand return from Coco Gauff. Forehand to forehand right now. That should be a favorable exchange for Aryna Sabalenka if you can stay there. I wonder if Sabalenka is becoming a bit more patient right now. It just feels as though she's just reeling in a little bit. And she's enjoying the forehand exchange there, which, as I said, for Coco, for almost all of the first set was a pretty solid one for her, as was her serve, by the way. Sabalenka, I thought it was going to be an ace, but not quite. Okay, Sabalenka to serve here. Serve up and down. Double fault from Aryna Sabalenka. And we have deuce. Okay, Coco Gauff about to receive. The Sabalenka serve. Down the tee. Good serve there from Sabalenka. No, it didn't land in. Or did it clip the net? Let's have a bit of volume, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Second serve. Not yet, Dr. Storytell, but basically yes. I think even if she capitulates from here, she probably still has. Sabalenka comes into the net. Can she put the backhand volley away? No, she can't. But Gauff can't put the forehand passing shot and keep it in. So Sabalenka wins the point and is within 1 point of 4-love. From 4-love, Coco Gauff would have to win this set 6-4. And then the final set, she'd have to win, I think, something like 6-1. So she's going to have to go on an incredible run right now, Coco, winning like almost all of the games for the rest of the match. Forehand from Coco goes into the net, and Sabalenka gets to 4-love. Sabalenka gets to 4-love. And that should be enough now for Aryna. Even if Coco came back and won every game in this set and won it 6-4, that would leave a +1 margin for Coco. That would mean she'd have to win the final set by 6-2 or more. Okay. Coco Gauff here, serving. Backhand return from Sabalenka goes into the net. 15-love. Okay, Coco Gauff with a put away. Doesn't put it away. But Sabalenka can't deal with it, and it's 30-love. One hour, 13 minutes on the clock. Backhand return from Sabalenka. Forehand from Gauff. Forehand Sabalenka. Forehand from Gauff. Backhand Sabalenka. Backhand Gauff is going to go just long. And it brings up 30-15 for Coco Gauff. The forehand-to-forehand exchange in this deciding set, in this second set, very much going in the way of Sabalenka. Okay. Gauff about to serve. Let first serve. Second serve here. Gauff serve up and down. Backhand return is going to land in. Forehand now from Sabalenka is pretty big, but forehand from Coco Gauff is equally big. Hitting it down the center of the court. It's funny because it's a forehand to backhand exchange constantly, and Sabalenka goes long. Gauff is pleased to win that point. Very pleased to win that point, actually. As she tries to win her first game of this set. Serve down the tee, but its first serve has been missed. Second serve here now for Coco Gauff. Double fault. Coco Gauff. The defending champion, Coco Gauff, on the precipice here. But she holds. Finally gets her first game on the board in this second set. So, 4-1, change of ends. Sabalenka 2 games away from topping the group. And of course, if she tops the group, she'll play Amanda Anisimova in the next round. Patrick, that's very funny. Wow. Sabalenka in tie breaks in 2025. 22-2. Okay, Sabalenka is serving 4-1, 15 love. The Harishkan asking me who will win. Harishkan, click subscribe. That button will go over to 41. Hit the like button. Spread the love. And I'll tell you now, I think Sabalenka's going to win this match now. 4-1, 30 love. Okay, Sabalenka to serve here. 1 hour and 18 minutes on the clock. Serve up and down. And that doesn't land in cleanly. So 30 love Sabalenka. Down the tee. Backhand is going to miss from Coco Gauff. And 30 love becomes 40 love for Aryna Sabalenka. Okay, Sabalenka here about to serve. Serve up and down. Forehand return. Backhand from Sabalenka. Forehand to forehand right now. And Gauff wins that point for 40-15. 40-15. Gauff about to return serve here. Sabalenka up and down. It's a good serve. What a return from Coco Gauff. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Sabalenka applauding that one. Okay, backhand return. Backhand from Sabalenka goes into the net. And from 40-love, we've gone to, from 40-love to deuce. Okay, Sabalenka about to serve. Serve up and down. Forehand return from Coco is really good, and Sabalenka can't deal with it. And we've got a break point now for Coco Gauff. Okay, Sabalenka about to serve. Break point, Coco Gauff. Serve up and down and into the rally. Backhand there from Sabalenka's really good. The forehand, though, is not as good. And Coco with a backhand winner, and it's 4-2. Coco is she back in this set? Sort of. Okay. So 4-2. Coco Gauff to serve. Two-4, Coco Gauff serving here in this second set. Double fault, Coco Gauff. The double faults are creeping in now for Coco. Love 15. Goes into the net. Oh dear. Another double fault. Another double fault from Coco Gauff. Love 30. Forehand here from Sabalenka. Forehand from Coco. And the forehand goes awry as well. So that's two double faults and a forehand error from Coco Gauff. Very much on brand in this game. And it's 3 break points for Aryna Sabalenka. Forehand return from Aryna is too good. She breaks for 5-2. She will serve for the match. And that was just a classic kind of Gauff capitulation in that game, followed by Sabalenka doing what she does. So what happened? Gauff double faults, Gauff double faults, Gauff hits a forehand error, Sabalenka hits a return winner. 4 points, wham bam, thank you ma'am, and that was that. So Sabalenka now knows she is serving for a place in the WTA Finals semifinals. It's looking good for Aryna right now. I'm going to have a quick look at the stats. course, the most important one is that it's 5-2 in this second set. Sabalenka about to serve. So these are the stats I have so far. 6 double faults for Coco. And I can tell you now, I think no double faults for Coco until showing the stats with you on the screen. 6 double faults all coming in the second half of this match. Okay, Sabalenka about to serve. Forehand return from Coco goes into the net, and it's 15-love. Crucial stages right now. Sabalenka here serving. 15-love. First serve doesn't land in, so a second serve here for Coco Gauff to look at. Forehand return from Coco is going to go awry. That was a pretty horrible forehand return from Coco. And Sabalenka now 2 points away. Sabalenka first serve into the net. Second serve here. Where are you going to go with this second serve? Forehand return from Coco is a good one. A really good forehand return there, Coco. That's the forehand that we saw throughout most of the first set from Coco. Where did that forehand go? It went a wander. That's the forehand we know. Anyway, Sabalenka to serve. 30-15. Forehand return from Coco. Good forehand from both players, actually. But that forehand goes awry. Sabalenka brings up 2 match points. 2 match points. I think basically Sabalenka is into the semifinals. Even if she lost, she'd have to lose almost all the games now for the rest of the match. Anyway, 40-15. Sabalenka here about to serve. Down the tee. Backhand return goes into the net. And Sabalenka secures her spot in the semifinals as the group winner in this group. 7-6, 6-2. She wins this match. There you go. She takes the plaudits from the crowd. And well, let's get into it. Honestly, Gauff goes up an early break, cedes the break, goes up a second break, cedes that break when she was serving for the first set at 30-love. She then loses 4 points in a row. They then go into the tiebreak. She gets up 4-2 in that tiebreak, and she's serving so well, and she hasn't hit a double fault, by the way, in the entire match. And even the forehand of Coco was flying at this point. The forehand and the serve were fine. Everything was going great. And yet then it began to fall apart from that moment onwards. From 4-2 up, she then double faults. At 4-5, I think it was, when she double faulted in that tie break, and ultimately lost that tie break by 7 points to 6. 7 points to 5. Sorry. Get it right, Johnny boy. The second set, though, the momentum was all with Aryna. She raced into a 4-love lead and seemed to relax. And in fact, I think Aryna's strategy at times in this match was to just be a little more patient. just a little more patient. It's really difficult for her, but just a couple of times, knowing that Coco is probably not going to be putting her away. The other key thing, though, is that then the Coco Gauff forehand and serve started to fall away. In terms of the serve, the double faults did start to creep in, having not hit a single one until that first set tiebreak. And then ultimately, Sabalenka gets over the line. Here she is. She's about to speak, having won the group.
I really enjoy playing in front of you, and it's just incredible to see how much tennis grown in the last year here, and to see all of you coming, watching us, supporting us, screaming Coco, Aryna. That was really enjoyable playing in front of you. I think that's why I was so fired up.
They love you here in Rio for sure. Let's talk a little bit about the match. She was serving a 5-4, 30 love. You weren't ready to give that set away. How did you turn things around?
Yeah, if I would know, probably I wouldn't put myself in that situation. I don't know. I was just trying to stay aggressive, I guess. I was just trying to find my rhythm, find my game. I was kind of like working for the second set already, but then magically I was able to turn things around. And yeah, super happy with the performance. Super happy to get this win in straight sets. And yeah, just happy to be through the round robin.
Aryna Sabalenka in the semifinals. We see a rematch of the U.S. Open. She made you work hard for that beautiful trophy. What are your thoughts taking on the American?
She's always making me work hard, and always great battles against her. Always enjoy playing against her, enjoy fights against her. So I'm super excited to face her in the semis, and I really hope it's going to be a great level match.
We will see tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one player in the world,
Aryna Sabalenka, of course. Yeah, the world number one is into the semifinals. Just having a quick look at some of these stats here. Fingers crossed the WTA website is up to date. 6 double faults from Coco Gauff, 1 from Sabalenka. I suggested before the match began, if it went 3 sets, Coco needed to keep it to single figures. Of course, in straight sets, that's a slightly different scenario. And don't forget, Coco had not hit a single double fault until that tiebreak. And at 4-2, she was leading in that tiebreak. There were 2 key moments for Coco in this match. One is when she is serving for the first set at 30 love. And it was at 30 love, when she's serving for it, you're thinking she's got it done. But she wasn't done there, and Sabalenka came back, gets it back on serve. But also at 4-2 in the tiebreak, change of ends, the backhand error into the net was arguably the tiebreak and the turning point in the entire match. Then comes the first double fault, and then comes the first set for Aryna Sabalenka. And Sabalenka never looked back from that moment onwards. By the way, Sabalenka extremely ruthless on break points today, 4 from 5. Very impressive for her. Stay with us, by the way, because we are now going to look towards the semifinals. Okay, so first semifinal. Let's go straight into the Sabalenka Anisimova semifinal. They're head-to-head. Let's get that up for you. It is, of course, 6-4 for Anisimova in her favor. But the most recent clash came at the US Open, and that went, of course, the way of Aryna Sabalenka's in straight sets. I don't think it's a big matchup problem. This is going to be, by the way, an incredible ball-hitting affair. That ball is going to get smashed to smithereens from both players. We're going to see a few unforced errors, but we are going to see some incredible shot making and with some incredible winners probably from both players. Let's also have a quick look to see at the form of these two players coming into this match. Anisimova, of course, came second in her group, winning 2 matches and losing 1. She lost her opening encounter to Elena Rybakina. I thought she was a bit flat in that one. So that was a little bit of a surprise to see her lose that encounter in that manner. And she seemed a bit flat against Madison Keys. Remember, she was down a set and a break. But from that moment, she wakes up. And then it was almost as if she thought, my tournament needs to start here. And sure, it did. Anisimova comes back, wins the second set against Madison Keys, and runs away with the third set. She takes that momentum into the Iga-Swiatek match, and in fact had breakpoint opportunities in that first set against Iga-Swiatek, but couldn't take them. But she was the better player for 98% of that first set. But you need to be the best player at the end of the set to ultimately win it. And Swiatek went into lockdown mode, and she was painting lines in that tiebreak and won it incredibly with some beautiful shot making. But Anisimova was not deterred, dug deep, and managed to win that second set when Swiatek was serving for. I remember in the live commentary just saying, Anisimova, keep holding serve, get to 3-all, get to 4-all, which is exactly what she did. She gets to 5-4, and then she pounces. And then it's Amanda who takes the momentum into the third set and ultimately beats Swiatek for the second time in a row. Of course, that is Iga's first time in her career that she's lost back-to-back matches, having won the first set. Iga, of course, losing her previous match to Rybakina, having won the first set as well. So that's how Anisimova reached this stage. But she's going to be playing Sabalenka, who, of course, won all 3 of her encounters, which is why she tops the group and plays Anisimova next. Her first match was against Paolini, a very comfortable affair. I think the Sabalenka-Paolini matchup is very favorable for Sabalenka. And also, Paolini pretty much under the weather and not in form throughout this entire tournament, losing all 6 sets that she played. Sabalenka-Pegula, a rematch, of course, of the semi-final that they had in the US Open recently. And also a semi-final, I think, in Wuhan as well. One match went Sabalenka's way, the other Pegula's. I do feel this is not a bad matchup for Sabalenka as well. I think Sabalenka does most things just that little bit better than Pegula. Come the third set of that match, by the way, Sabalenka's second serve returns. Beautiful, unbelievable, and helped her win that match from a sticky situation at the end of that second set. And then today, another sticky situation, stickier than the sticking set since he got stuck on a sticky bun when she was down 5-4 to Coco before ultimately managing to avoid losing that first set. She was down 5-4 and 30 love, and Coco was serving for that first set. But Sabalenka digs deep herself and manages to win that first set and then ultimately carry that momentum in. Okay, back to the head-to-head and also my prediction. Ball striking off the charts. Also, Sabalenka today, just one double fault, by the way. If she serves like that in the semi-final, I think she'll be fine. Don't forget, though, Sabalenka's never won this tournament. I predicted Anisimova to win the tournament pre-tournament. But the way the two are playing, I'm just going to give the edge to Aryna. I'm going to go for a Sabalenka win in 3 sets. Okay. Okay. Next one. Pegula will be playing, of course, Rybakina in the other semi-final. Head-to-head there reads 3-1 for Pegula. How about that? So, what are we thinking? Let's have a quick look at their previous encounters, and then we'll have a quick look as well at how they've got to this stage, and then we'll make a prediction. So, they've played each other 3 times. Not since Mexico in 2023. Sorry, they've played each other 4 times, but they haven't played each other since the WTA Finals of 2023. That's a long time ago. Remember that windy, blustery WTA Finals in Cancun that Pegula, of course, ended up getting to the final of before losing to Iga 0-1. Pegula won the first encounter in Miami in 2022 on hard. All of their 4 encounters, by the way, have been on a hard court. Probably the best surface for both players. I think you could argue grass maybe for Rybakina. But straight sets win in Miami in 2022 for Jessica Pegula. A 3-set win in Guadalajara later the same year. So that's 2 matches they've played in Mexico in their career. Then a straight sets win in Miami in 2023 for Rybakina. Before a Pegula win in Mexico in the WTA Finals later on that year. That was in the group stages. In terms of how each player has made it to the semifinals. Let's have a quick look at Pegula's 3 matches so far. Probably defined in so many ways by her first match that she won over Coco Gauff. That ultimately cost Coco a place in the semis. Coco obviously not able now to retain her crown. We're going to have, are we going to have a new winner? I think we are going to have another new winner of the WTA Finals, because none of Pegula, Sabalenka, Anisimova, nor Rybakina have ever won this tournament before. Pegula, by the way, had her chances against Sabalenka, but wasn't able to take them, and ultimately Aryna winning that match, putting her under a bit of pressure coming into the final day here. But Pegula knew a straight sets win over Paolini, and she would qualify. She did it with consummate ease today over a very underwhelming, under the weather, underperforming Jasmine Paolini. So Pegula won that match easily 2 and 3. And I have to say, I'm a little surprised. I thought Pegula might struggle to get out of this group. I think I had Sabalenka and Gauff progressing. But as I said, it was all defined by the first match. But there are 2 players in the semifinals who have won all 3 of their group matches. Aryna Rybakina is one, and Aryna Sabalenka is the other. As you can see on the screen, Sabalenka getting to this stage with a 3-1 win over Paolini. That Sabalenka-Pegula match was a really top match, high quality, and Sabalenka had to dig deep before prevailing. And then this match today against Coco Gauff, again having to dig deep, staring down the barrel of losing that first set. And she was really struggling with that classic matchup scenario. Gauff was getting balls back with interest. Gauff was defending for her life, and Sabalenka was growing more and more frustrated as she couldn't put the ball away and couldn't put Coco away. And at 5-4, 30 love for Coco, serving for it, 2 points away from winning the first set, you thought, uh-oh, Sabalenka's in trouble here, because she needed at least a set today to qualify. But in the end, from 30 love down, she comes back, breaks, wins 4 points in a row, and doesn't really look back from that moment onwards, ultimately winning the tiebreak and then the final set, or the second set, 6-2. So Sabalenka's form, pretty good. Now, the Sabalenka... why am I talking about Sabalenka? Don't know. Let's talk about Rybakina's path here to the semi-finals. She has won all 3 of her matches. I have to edit this out later. Rybakina's won all 3 matches as well, and she's dropped 1 set en route. But what about that match against Iga Swiatek, arguably defining her tournament and losing just 1 game from the final 13, helping her progress? She had a straight sets win over Alexandrova yesterday, and she progresses and will now play Pegula. So what do we think about this one? Pegula against Rybakina. Despite the head-to-head, I'm going with what I've seen so far in this tournament. It's going to be a Rybakina win in 3 sets. And therefore, I have Rybakina against Sabalenka in the WTA Finals final. A repeat, of course, of the 2023 Australian Open final and the 2023 Indian Wells final, and a bunch of other matches as well. But that is to come. It's tough to call, but I'm going to go with a Rybakina win in 3 sets. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.